Hi friends! Welcome back to our Brightpaw series. This will be Act 2. Just did the recording for Act 1. So cute so far. Let's see what Theo is up to now.
Although he could not shake the image of his departed owners, Theo suddenly found himself somewhere very different indeed. However, before he could appreciate his new surroundings, he found his attention drawn to the glowing hot wall of energy in front of him.
Fancy.
Faced with something so clearly hazardous, he thought it might be wise to take a moment to think before diving headlong into oblivion.
Of course. Oh.
Oh, what a pleasant surprise! After his daring maneuver, Theo found that he was still alive. Unfortunately, there was one more laser to slip past.
There we go.
Theo glared at the broken robot blocking his path. After risking his life twice, he was in no mood for this obstruction. Perhaps that broken vent offered salvation.
There you go. Hop to it, Theo. Or hop to it. Got jokes.
Still somewhat tense from his previous trial, Theo was immensely relieved to find no deadly lasers when he emerged from the vent. On the other hand, he was instead faced with a functional, frantic, and quite soggy security robot.
The sun is a deadly laser.
As he skirted by the distracted machine, Theo found himself eyeing the hole-riddled aquarium. Either someone was stalking the halls shooting at water features, or the security needed to work on their aim.
This way. There we go.
Though the appeal of fresh fish was enticing, it was offset by the risk of an unexpected bath. Rather than contemplate such a terrible fate any further, Theo decided to make a quick exit.
Here you go, beep beep.
Advancing cautiously, Theo was encouraged by the sight of another aquarium, this time with the water safely inside, not threatening to unpleasantly dampen his fur. There was no time to fish, however, as security appeared to be taking its job a touch more serious.
Okay. Make sure I see everything else. Okay, it's the starfish. It is the starfish. Nice.
Although Theo could be easily distracted, he knew when it was time to focus. That time had arrived.
Back up one. There we go. What the heck? Where did I go? There you go. There we go. So where'd you go, little buddy? I made a mistake somewhere. That's where I need to be, but I can't do anything else. Okay, well, fuck. I have to do this one again. To see where we went wrong.
Advancing cautiously, Theo was encouraged by the sight of another aquarium, this time with the water safely inside, not threatening to unpleasantly dampen his fur. There was no time to fish, however, as security appeared to be taking its job a touch more seriously. Although Theo could be easily distracted, he knew when it was time to focus.
I'm gonna need that other one.
Tearing his attention away from the unattainable, Theo delicately stepped between the broken remains of some very expensive-looking showpieces. Despite his lack of any understanding of fine art, he was disgusted by the wanton destruction before him.
There we go. Got it.
Having successfully weaved past the searching eyes of the guard, he was overjoyed to see that he could just follow the killer through a door, instead of crawling through the ventilation like a rodent.
It's good. I don't want to be a rodent. I want to be a cat.
Theo cast his eyes about the grandiose room, the impressive decor marred by the smoking wreckage of robotic guards. Clearly, someone with no respect for interior design had been this way. However, hanging over the remains of a reception desk, Theo spotted something that took his interest. Bright Paw Industries. Although this place was impressive, Theo knew he had precious little time to admire it. Despite the damage, the underlying class of this Bright Paw establishment was clear. The placement of several large aquariums, brimming with exotic fish, was an inspired design choice that Theo could respect. Theo crossed the room, breathing in the intoxicating fragrance of fish, while taking care to avoid the remaining hazards. As he did, his mind began to wonder. Why was a place like this situated beneath his home? And more importantly, why had these fishy treats not been brought to his attention before?
Right? That's what I'm saying.
At first glance, it appeared that Theo had stumbled into a storage room for broken glass. Except there were other items in the glittering fragments. Grenades? Missiles? An umbrella? Theo padded behind the guard, pondering his discoveries. A hidden underground facility, robotic security, and now rooms filled with odd weapons. What on earth was this place?
Okay, so we're basically just avoiding the guard at this point.
Looking back, Theo considered that it was perhaps unwise to leave such destructive toys lying around. On the other hand, there was no way someone would leave live explosives on display. Probably best to ignore it and hurry on.
Apparently that's just what his parents did.
Theo contemplated the ruins of the once magnificent boardroom, which had been reduced to little more than burnt mahogany by some kind of explosion. Apparently, the killer had needed to clear the room in a hurry. But why? Oh, perhaps those lasers were a motivator.
Perhaps. Trapped chill. Wrong way.
With the wall of death slowly advancing, Theo scrambled for a plan to slip by. There, across the room, a shattered glass wall offering a glimpse of escape. Deftly avoiding glass with his paws, Theo found his eyes drawn to a large portrait on the wall. Was that Nathaniel? As he stood, he wondered, how much of all this was his master responsible for?
I don't know how I did that, but okay. Okie doke, and that brings us to Act 3. We'll see you next time. Thank you.